Hi there, this is Dianne Hanks with some special Halloween fun tips, safety tips, and this is a very interesting time of year, Halloween, and some people can really be duds, and to those people who are duds at Halloween I say boo. I don't mean like boo, like ooh scary, I mean like boo, what a dud. Halloween is the one day a year that you can just really let your hair down and just have fun. Just have fun. That is the sole idea of it. When people take Halloween to extremes and they get, you know, way too slutty sexy or way too disgustingly scary or like really terrifying evil, I mean, that is not my idea of Halloween fun. So I want to give a little bit of tips and stuff about how to just really maximize your most fun at Halloween. I have some really fun stories too about different Halloweens in past, because I have always been an avid supporter of Halloween and dressing up, and it has created so many different memories for me through the years that I just have little laughing places when I think about some of the funny costumes that I have seen and how it just brightens people's lives when you kind of put yourself second for the day and give yourself to people, give yourself fully and freely, and use your creativity and think of what a clever costume that you can come up with. Now I have some do's and I have some don'ts. Now let me cover the don'ts before I go on with the do's, and I think I mentioned some of them. You know, don't be ridiculously slutty or what you think is sexy. If you think that sexy is absolutely showing every part of your body, it's totally not true. It's gratuitous, it's disrespectful to yourself, and it's not something that you could, you know, have everybody in the family enjoy having you do. So be wholesome. You can be sexy but not be skanky or slutty. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Also, be safe, and don't be so gross at your costume that, you know, it's like terrifyingly evil so that people can't enjoy your presence. Like, you know, if you have little kids that, scary. Sometimes some of my costumes have been quite scary, and I do scare little kids. The one video that I posted with my really scary face, I did scare some little kids, and I felt bad about that. I don't want to do that. But you can be very topical, and I mean, I can't tell you how many Sarah Palins there probably will be for Halloween this year. That's one thing you can do, is be very topical. The other thing that you can do is be funny. I mean, really be funny. I remember I went to a high school little Halloween parade that they did when my brother was Hans of Hans and Frans, and that was a little sketch on Saturday Night Live where, you know, it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger with Dana Carvey and whatever, and they're like, we're here to pump you up, and they had just these gray sweats on with these muscles they did, and they totally got into it. It was so funny. And while I was there that same year, there were two other costumes that absolutely just flipped my lid with laughter. And one of them was the guy from Kiss with his big tongue hanging out. You know, I think it's Gene Simmons that does that. But this guy's tongue was a long fruit roll-up. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. He had a big fruit roll-up for a tongue. And the other guy was Bob's Big Boy. You know, the Bob's statue from Bob's Big Boy, where he's out holding a little hamburger, and he had a little pompadour for his hair, and a little red and white checkered overalls, and just stood there holding that thing. It was so funny, and it kind of reminded me, a few years back I was a chef. I was a male chef for Halloween, and I just drew like a little French chef, pastry chef mustache, and I put on, you know, this white, you know, one of my students actually drew a picture of it. Let me share it with you. I was carrying around a little cake, one of those beautiful cakes that are not real. I had on a chef hat and my apron and some black and white checkered pants, but that was it, you know. there are certain things also to prepare to put on your costume. Please don't ever wear a mask. There is no reason to wear a mask on Halloween. There are so many things that you can do with makeup that, and also little appendages to your body, little things that you can put on that will keep you safe enough to have a full range of vision when you don't have a mask on. I've worn a mask before. I remember when I was a little girl, and all night you can feel that thing in and you're just miserable. So learn how to wear makeup so that you can really, really enjoy the safety part about Halloween and having full range of vision. Wouldn't it be just awful to not have the full ability to see? One year I was the devil for Halloween, and I had these red contacts made. My brother-in-law made me some red contacts. He's an optometrist, and I had on rose-colored, they were red contacts to go with my whole devil thing. And it was so hard to see because it totally messed with my vision. And I literally was seeing the world through rose-colored glasses. It's really, really hard if you've never looked through red lenses. So be safe. I mean, that's one thing, is just be safe. Have fun, but be safe. And do have fun. I mean, really take a good look at yourself and say, what can I enhance or magnify so that it would be a funny costume? Be funny. I mean, the funniest costumes are the ones that oh my gosh, that is so clever. There was a girl who is always so quiet, but at Halloween she just had the most unbelievable costumes that she'd worked on probably for months. Last year she was a puppet, and she designed her brother's costume to be walking on stilts, and she was a marionette. And unbelievable how amazing. And the year before that, the guy was the guy from the movie Holes, with the orange jumpsuit and a thing of water with a little rope around his thing and dirt all over him, and carrying a shovel, because that's what they do, is dig holes. If you haven't seen that movie, that's a great movie. Another, sometimes if you look at a person, you're like, oh, if they just put a little black on their nose and some whiskers, they'd make a fantastic cat or a great rat or something, add a little tail. I was looking at my own hair as I'm just kind of, looking right here, and just with a few little things like this, I look like that dog from Lady and the Tramp. Where, Lady's in the pound and she's all scared, and she goes, "He's a tramp, but I love him. He's a scoundrel." I'll try and find that clip. It's so funny. The funniest part about that clip is where the other dogs are going, "Boom, boom, boom, rough. Boom, 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 rough." Anyway, so just a couple little tips here also. If you've never worn Halloween makeup before, let it be this year that you do it. But I want you to prepare your face first properly so that you don't have a nightmare of trying to clean off your face. Always, always, always put on some moisturizer all over your face before you put on any kind of foundation or base makeup on your face. The moisturizer and the base will help to create a little barrier so that all that other stuff doesn't get sucked into your pores, causing all these impurities to get trapped inside of there. And then you're like, oh, I can't wipe this off, I can't wipe this off. Well, you can avert that whole thing by putting on some nice moisturizer before you ever put on your makeup. So I'm going to continue on with a couple more special looks for you, but I wanted to give some special tips about being sensible when you're having Halloween and still having lots and lots of wholesome, clean fun. Thanks for joining me. I'm Dianne Hanks.